Well, we are here today with Medic, as I call her. Her real name may be Susan, but
Maybe.
it's such a habit to call her by her road name. So tell us how you got started riding.
Well, when I was a teenager, I had a dirt bike. Me and my sister were the only two siblings. My dad always wanted boys, and he got girls. So we rode dirt bikes, we shot guns, we broke horses, we did everything. And once that time was over, I spent years and years and years and years without being on a motorcycle. My ex-husband got one, and I saw how he drove a car, so I refused to ride with him.
Don't blame you.
My current husband had been riding since he was 4 years old. And so he got a bike several years ago, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's have fun. And I got to where I couldn't ride any longer than about an hour, hour and a half, and my behind would start hurting because I have a dislocated tailbone. So he finally pushed and pushed and pushed and said, I really think you'd be more comfortable if you got your own bike.
The nerve
And
of him.
I know. And I was very leery and I wouldn't listen to anything he said. And I ended up getting an old sport bike. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. These are fun. Nope, not so fun when you're older. So that didn't last long. And here we are, like, I don't know, 5 bikes later. So I've been riding solidly for about 5 years now.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask is when you've been riding by yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
about 5 years, I think. 4 or 5, somewhere in there. I lost count.
It runs together.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And I've racked up a lot of miles. Not as many as you, but I'm
Well,
working on it.
do you know about how many miles you have out of curiosity?
Well, my last bike that I just my new one's got almost 1,100. My last one had 28,000. The one before that had over 22,000. The one before that was about 6 or 7, and I think I only put like 300 on the sport bike. So I think that's
I
all.
mean, for 4 or 5 years, that's
That's a
some
lot of
miles.
miles. Yeah, that's usually my main mode of transportation, going back and forth to work and stuff like that, just because it's more fun.
But we will get a walk around of Medic's bike later. It is having a. You want to say what it's having done to it?
It's getting a little tweaking done to my seat. Nothing too fancy this time. Just it's actually the stock seat that I got on this new bike, super comfortable. So we're just gonna put a little cushion in the back to move me up a smidge. He's not sure he can save the covering. If not, we're gonna put in a ghosted manufacturer name on it.
Okay.
So maybe a little red stitching. I don't know. We'll see.
And so, what color is it?
The bike,
Mm-hmm.
flat black.
Okay, I was thinking it was gray for some reason.
No, they do come in gray and flat gray. I wanted to get a regular paint, like a shiny paint, but they didn't have any at the time. So I got flat black with it all blacked out.
So tell us some of the bikes that you've had.
I had an '07 Suzuki GS 500F, which was my sport bike. That was a lot of fun. And it was good to learn on because it was lightweight,
Yeah.
a little easier to handle, still a little top heavy, but it was a beater bike. I bought it years old with over 30,000 miles, so I did something to it, no big deal. And then after that, I had a Indian Scout, real pretty, the willow and cream, green and cream. That was a lot of fun, but I outgrew that pretty quick. But it was a little firecracker. It's 100 horsepower on a 500-pound bike, so we'd get up and haul beauty. After that, I got me an Indian Chieftain Limited because we like to do some long rides. After that, my husband worked here at one of our local dealers that is not Indian. And I ended up getting a Road Glide Special blacked out with that real pretty snake venom paint. And then between the Chieftain and the Road Glide, they kept burning the snot out of my right calf, and I got tired of it. And I went back to an Indian Challenger because they're a water-cooled engine, so they don't get near as hot.
And the Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and for maybe someone who doesn't know, that's like the Road Glide you had.
Yes, it is a lot like the Road Glide. There's obviously some minor differences between the two, but the biggest thing is just that engine. It's water cooled. And I will say, a lot of times for ladies and shorter people, Indian bikes are good because they have a lower center of gravity, so they're balanced a little better. So
And this will be your no, your third.
my third Indian, yeah.
Okay, I forgot about the Scout, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, my third Indian.
So
They just creature comforts. They've got some stuff that I like, and I'm just partial to them. To each their own. Bike's a
exactly.
bike.
But
So
hey, you're on two wheels, so
I'd still have my Road Glide if it didn't burn my leg off. And
yeah.
I just got frustrated with it. And
So you said it's your main mode of
Mhm.
transportation. It's just your preferred mode of transportation. What has been one of your favorite trips that, because you mentioned y'all have done some long trips. What's been one of your favorites or a couple of your favorites?
they're all my favorite because I get
Because
to get away and ride.
They're on the bike.
But our first one that we went on, that you were there, several of us went on. We had a lot of stops and a lot of things to see on that trip.
The Utah?
Yeah, the
Okay.
Utah. Yeah. Went to Arches, that was gorgeous. We went to Mesa Verde National Park and saw the old ancient cliff dwellings. Big old moose cow crossed our path. Wow, they're tremendously huge. I saw prairie dogs for the first time on that trip. My husband thinks it's silly, but they're just cute little boogers.
Yeah.
I saw a bighorn sheep on that trip in Monarch Pass. Just a lot of cool stuff to see along the road. And I think going out there, we crossed the Arkansas River. I lost count about 13 times. I'm sure there was more.
How many times, but
a lot.
That was crazy.
Yes, there was a lot. I lost count at 13.
Beautiful scenery, though.
Gorgeous scenery. Yeah. Gorgeous.
So on that, how does a helmet protect you?
Well, a half helmet protects half of you. Because I know what you're getting at. On that particular trip, they call me medic, first of all, because that's my profession. We reached really long and hard for that name. So on that trip, the two guys that were with us at that time were up further ahead of us. And it was just, 4 or 5 of us girls. And I was, I think, the first one in that group. I'm not sure. Anyway, some trucks passed us and a rock came through right in between my mirror and my windshield. And it shot right through there and just barely missed my visor and hit me right in the face.
But didn't it chip your visor?
I thought it did, but it did not. When I got the new visor, it had the same little marking in it. And I looked, it was on the other side too. So it was like a little crease in there, maybe when they make them, or I don't know. But wow. Yeah. So I had a dimple for a while, but it's gone now.
Yeah. But that did save you.
It did. It did. Yeah. It hurt like the dickens, but you know, I walked around with this weird gaudy bandage on my face. But being a medic, I had a huge bag full of stuff.
So you were good to go.
I was good to go. Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite places you like to ride? Like when you get out around here, say you have a day or two, or maybe you have a few hours, where's some of your default routes around the area?
What is it? E Highway going out of the northwest side of Pea Ridge on 94. It turned in, I believe, E Highway going up through Missouri and along parts of Sugar Creek. It's a beautiful road. It's got some twisties in there. It's real nice. Going out to Roaring River from Highway 37 in Seligman is good. I like going, we've only done it a couple of times, but going to like Kingman, I think, is that the little square, the little tiny square, Kingman?
Oh, Kingston?
Kingston, that's it, yeah. But there's just so much riding here, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere you go, going down to Tahlequah, what is that, 10? The Highway 10?
Scenic 10.
Yeah.
And then 62 coming back. Remember, that's where I lost my headlight?
Yep, I remember that. We talked about, Scott and I did that not long ago. We talked about that.
How random is that?
Yeah.
Ding, ding. What was that?
Yeah. But I love the twisty roads. I like to be a little more aggressive since, you know, I ride with my husband a lot. Of course, being a guy, he's a little more aggressive at times. So, Yeah, so we did the Tail of the Dragon summer before last, or if you're counting this summer. That was a
So
lot of fun.
how did you like that one?
Um, I'll tell you, Iron Mountain in South Dakota, I think is better than Needles Highway in South Dakota, but I think it's better than Tail of the Dragon. So, I mean, Tail of the Dragon it's hard, it's difficult, but it's not that difficult. I guess I just,
Right.
all the hype that everybody built it up to be, I was like, meh, you know.
I just think because it's all the curves, maybe,
Yeah.
but we have that here too.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree. Needles Highway and Iron Mountain. Oh
Iron
my,
Mountain was phenomenal.
I
I
love.
love those wooden turnarounds on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the times when we went to go this last trip in May, we got stopped. There was somebody directing traffic because they were shooting a Porsche commercial up there. And we'd hear the engines roar and they come with the cars and then they do like a 3-point turn and take off. But they had the road closed down for like 10 minutes so they could shoot some scenes for a Porsche commercial. That was pretty cool.
How cool is that? Wow.
I like doing group rides once in a while. I mean, especially if it's a full on big ride, not my favorite. I would prefer to be in front.
So, what do you consider a group ride? More than
um,
4? More than 8?
I like to stay more like between like the 4 to maybe 10. And it's usually that kind of a group. It's a little more intimate and people you've ridden with before.
Right.
So you can kind of match up skills. But when you get in like these big like parades or poker one whatever, and there's like more than that, and there's people from all skill levels, I don't think they're near as fun.
Yeah.
So, but I'm so used to riding alone a lot. It's I'll do it once in a while for some type of awareness or something like that, but
Right.
it's just not my preferred situation.
So, what do you like about being a cool biker chick? Because we all know you're cool.
I just, I don't know. I like riding. Since I was a little kid, my real dad rode, my stepdad rode. Um, the wind in the hair, man. I just love it. Just that feeling of freedom. It's almost like you're flying. I kind of got that when I rode horses when I was younger. It's just fun. It's relaxing. If like I've had a bad shift at work, I usually have 30 to 60 minutes to get home from work because I do have to commute a bit. And it's just some nice downtime that I can just relax and just let everything, fly away on the side of the road.
Right. It
Yeah.
it is a good refresh.
Yeah. When they say wind therapy, they really mean wind therapy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And so besides the wind therapy and just getting out, what else do you like riding your own?
Um, just that I'm in control, if there's something that I don't want to do, I don't do it. If somebody's farting around and being dumb or going too faster than I want to go or whatever, I just do me. You know what? I've got navigation. I've got a phone. I've got my purse, my wallet, whatever. I'll find my way there. It's okay. I'm capable.
Or find your way back home, whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever
And,
that is.
I'm lucky that I have a great supporter in my husband because he's like that. He's like, you do you, and I tell him all the time, if I don't want to do what you're doing, bye. I'll see you when I get there.
Yeah.
But
True.
he is my biggest cheerleader. I will say that. He is my biggest supporter.
Oh, and y'all have done the Iron Butt Challenge.
We have. We did.
So was that last year?
It was not this year's trip. So last year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 22. Yeah. We started in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Poplar Bluff.
Okay.
And the Iron Butt is 1,000 miles in 24 hours. So we started there early in the morning and we rode all the way out to Nags Head, North Carolina. And it's a rough one. We ride tank to tank. So the only time we stop is when we got to fuel up, and that's when you use the restroom. You get a snack. There was no meals along the way. It was snacks and drinks. And we had some other friends waiting for us when we got there.
That's
and
hardcore.
yeah. We got there about 2:30 in the morning, and we had like an extra few miles that we needed to stack on. Plus, we had to get fuel so we could have the receipts to prove, because you have to take pictures of the receipts
Okay.
against your odometer to prove the miles. And yeah, it was kind of closed down around there. We finally found one place open, and the receipts wouldn't print right. We had to keep asking that. But my husband decided, okay, we're just going to go out this highway, and when we've hit half the miles, we're just going to turn around and come back. Well, his turnaround was at like 2:30 in the morning on a 2-lane bridge over the water that had a slightly decreased embankment to the east side of the bridge. My husband is very skilled in riding. I'm not near as good as he is. So he just flips around, makes a U-turn. You know, there's nobody there. It's the middle of the night. Oh no, when I go to turn, I'm kind of dog walking it around, and then traffic comes from both ways. And I'm like, oh crap. But we made it. Yeah, it was great. He's talked about now doing the it's the butt burner, which is 1,500 miles in 36 hours. But they also have one that's 2,000 miles in 48 hours. So, yeah, you definitely got to have a comfortable bike.
So how numb was your butt?
You know, it wasn't bad, because we have this phenomenal guy that stops through here, Snapperhead Seats and Embroidery, and he had redone my Road Glide seat for me.
That's right.
Yeah, and with that dislocated tailbone, he put some nice extra padding in there for me. We don't do the gel pads, we just do memory foam, because he said the gel tends to hold a little bit of heat. But we did the memory foam, and he cuts a little channel through there to relieve that pressure on my tailbone. So I had no problem riding that 1,000 miles. It was easy peasy, and that's why I don't have my seat right now. He's working on my new bike.
So y'all basically rode 500 miles.
Oh no.
And then turned around and
it was 1,000 miles out there.
Oh, one way.
One way. Yeah. Yeah. But it was awesome, because then we were at the beach, and honestly, that vacation we didn't ride a whole lot because we were at the beach, but we did have fun and we relaxed. We had another couple plus one other friend with us, and we just chilled. We did a VRBO and had a house, and we just chilled at the house. We were walking distance to the beach. We took turns cooking every night, and it was just a lot of great fellowship and friendship going on, and hanging out and getting to know each other. Really.
So out of curiosity, because I don't personally know, so when you do the 1K, the Iron Butt Challenge, and you mentioned about documenting the seat receipts with the odometer, so who is that registered to?
There is an association, I think it's the Iron Butt Association, I'm not sure the name.
Okay.
And you can register through them. There's like a fee and everything, and they'll send you a patch and a certificate. And my husband and I decided we didn't want to register, because we did it, we spent the money doing it, we didn't want to spend more money. So instead we commemorated it in a different way, and I got a 1K tattoo.
Let's see that.
So that's my 1,000 miles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and my husband's has dates down here, so I wasn't too concerned with that. It's just the girl version of his tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so y'all are considering doing another one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
still tweaking the new bike, but
yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Whatever. So anything that you can think of encouraging another female who's thinking about maybe riding her on, what would you suggest?
Find a supportive group. There's a lot of them out there, the Lita, Stilettos, all kinds of stuff. Don't let people tell you can't do it. I don't care how tall or how short you are, there is a bike out there for you. And if it's not quite right, you can do like the rest of us and tweak it and make it right. It's, sometimes you have to do that with things. And miles, you need miles. You're not going to feel comfortable until you've got miles and miles and miles, and you're going to drop the damn bike. It happens.
It's not.
It happens to everybody.
It's when.
Yep. And like I haven't done the new bike yet, but I know I will. I didn't do it the Scout, but almost every one of my bikes, I've dropped them. That's why I get engine guards and saddlebag guards, because it's going to happen.
You want to protect your bike as much as
Protect your
possible.
investment. Yeah.
I heard a gentleman, and I won't mention his name on here. If he watches, he'll probably know, hey, she's talking about me. So he says when he buys a bike, new or used, he comes out, drops the dang thing. He said, okay, now I'm done with that. Move on. I thought, I don't think I want to do that, but I get it.
I'm not going to purposely do it. But
well, yeah. But anyway, I thought, well, okay, that's.
Well, the first thing I like to do with a bike is make sure if it doesn't come with the engine guards, I get those. And definitely a lot of them don't come with the saddlebag guards. So I always get those. I tend not to ride them very much until I have those two things on them, and then have at it. Have fun and have fun with it. Trust your bike. Your bike doesn't want to go down as much as you don't want to go down.
Right.
If your wheels turn, do not use your front brake. That somehow got missed in my training, and I kept wondering why I kept dropping my bike when I was stopping. So
I have done mine by catching the front brake, and
the last time I did it with my Road Glide, somebody had pulled out in front of me, my husband, and I thought I was going to hit my husband, and I grabbed a handful of that one and pulled it right nose down, and I actually bent my engine guard on that one. So,
but your engine guard did its job.
It did. The bike did its job. I didn't get hurt. The bike was fine. Just a little. The engine guard did its job. It took the blunt of it. So
now, do you have? I know you've had road names for your bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you named this one yet?
Not yet, but Lilith. My last bike was Lilith. That plate is on this one because it was paid up till February. So
Right,
I've got a little breathing room. So I had, like I said, Lilith. Before that, I had Highball. It was to pay homage to my grandfather. He was a train engineer, and a highball is a train term. That means the track's clear and let's go. The Scout, I named it, but it didn't have a plate name.
Gotcha.
So, and the sport bike never had a name. So I've kind of got a name that keeps popping into my head, and I'm not sure about it yet. But it's actually was a name of mine years ago when I worked in a gym. So it's what my fellow trainers used to call me. So we'll see.
Okay.
It might work out. I don't know.
We'll be interested to see what you end up naming your new bike.
Yep.
And it's a Challenger, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, Challenger.
So since it is black, are you going to leave it black or put any it's not really called highlights, but
yeah. Accents.
Yeah.
This bike did come stock with some red striping on both the wheels. And when I was down at the dealership down the road, I was looking at grips, and they had some of those Heartluck ODI grips, and they're black and just about yay much on each one where the metal is, where it locks on with the switch controls. It's like a shiny metallic red color. So Snapperhead may be throwing some red stitching on the seat. I don't know. I think he's going to surprise me. He knows what I like. He knows the bike. So
right.
Yeah. And then while I was not talking to Snapperhead yesterday, another gentleman we know walked up, Mr. Scott Fight. And I told him I was over the flat black already. And he's like, I know a guy.
Yeah. Right.
And I said, whoa, I just started working again. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. Cool.
Who knows?
So what is your favorite color?
Black, teal. It's kind of it depends. I like some pinks, but I'm very particular on that. And the teal, it's kind of a darker teal to a turquoise.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty color.
Yeah, but the purple on Lilith was great. That snake venom, the green that changes to purple, that was a nice purple. It was nice dark purple.
And for the record, folks, she does like the Panther.
I do. I always thought we should have called Panther the Mingo for Flamingo.
That's what we did at first.
Yeah, I love Mingo. I don't know why. I just love Mingo.
Yeah.
There's a new, or not a new, but my youngest son has turned me on to Zach Bryan a few months ago, the country singer. And he's got a song, Tishmingo, or Tishomingo. It's a place. And I was like, Mingo. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. So, I mean, when the name will strike me when I'll know. So
Well, I can't wait to see your seat. And then whenever she has her bike ready, we'll do a walk around on that and be able to complete
yep.
your video. But anything else you want to share with the peeps out there?
Mm.
Get out and ride, fool.
You know what? Whatever makes you happy, do it. You only circle the earth once. You only get one. It's, there is no mulligans. You don't get to start overs, and I mean, you can stop and continue, but you don't get no do-overs.
Right, right.
So do what makes your heart happy.
That's right. Well, Medic, thanks for your time, and we appreciate what you do in your profession. And just remember to make it count.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
All
Commander.
right.